Alright everybody, today we're hopping back into the series of the So You Summoned videos. This is where I go over the characters that were featured on the main Dokkan Fest banner here during the anniversary, and I talk about each of them, where you can use them, if you can still get use out of them in difficult content, and just their overall design and usage, and how I would kind of build a team around them. That way if you pulled them, and you're just wondering, how do I actually use this character? That's what I'm going to kind of be going over in this video. So first off, we're going to start out with a breakdown of the character and what exactly they're doing, because I feel like we need to know that in order to know how to work around them. So today we've got UI Goku Ultra Instinct, True Ultra Instinct. Can we say Ultra Instinct more in this title? His leader skill is very outdated at this point. Luckily it is a 170% to all stats, but Miraculous Awakening and Reps of Universe 7 are just not really teams that you want to be running right now. If I go ahead and pull the category up here, this is what Miraculous Awakening looks like. I don't really feel like I need to pull up Reps of Universe 7. I hope you guys can just take my word for it that that is not a team that you want to be using these days. But this is Miraculous Awakening, the other half of his leader skill. And you can see here, we haven't really gotten too many insane buffs for this category. There's some units in here that could maybe be decent easy A's, but overall, there's not really much here that you're going to be working with, and you really don't want to be running two of this guy anymore. Back whenever this guy came out, he was an absolute menace across the entire game, because for the most part, he can't get hit, and then he could shoot off like 3 super attacks that all did crits, and we'll get into his kit here in a second, which, is what allows him to do that. But now his time is kind of aged out, because back then, what also made him nice is like, oh, you didn't dodge? That's okay, as long as he's not getting hit by a super attack, he's, gonna take double digits from normals. That's kind of like his role at the time. But now, obviously, his raw defense has aged, and it's not going to hold up as well anymore, and that's where this guy has kind of fallen off a little bit, and why you don't want 2 of him running around, because at that point, you're just dealing with a liability. You don't ever want, a character running around that you have 2 of that you're like, oh no, if this unit gets touched at all, we're taking like 250k damage, right? So, also, he's the only leader for Miraculous Awakening at the moment, so we should see a new character in this category soon. Alright, so his super attack effects are Perfect Instinct. This is the 12 key, causes colossal damage to the enemy, high chance of performing a crit for 1 turn. And then Ultra Super Attack causes mega colossal damage to the enemy, high chance of performing a critical hit for 1 turn. So pretty much the same super effect, just mega colossal and colossal. What makes this so good is that these effects actually will stack into each other if you get multiple super attacks in a turn. So your first super attack will have a 50% chance to crit, whether it's an 18 key or a 12 key, it doesn't matter. If you get an additional super attack on that turn, it will be a guaranteed crit, because 50% plus 50% from both super attack effects, whether it be, 50% times 2, you do two 12 keys, or if you do one 18 key and one 12 key, these effects will stack together and be a 100% chance to crit if they do 2 super attacks, which is very good. One bad thing about this guy is that he's not getting defense or attack on his super attack effect. All he is getting is this crit effect, which at the time was okay, but now this is where units really start to age, is whenever they're not getting defense or attack, well, really just defense on their super attack effect. So this guy's probably going to be easy-ing in about a year. Hard to say, but at the moment, this is what we're dealing with. So yeah, this is obviously how he'll be in the showcase. His passive skill is pretty basic. Again, he is 2 years old at this point, so we can't expect a lot here, but it's got enough, specifically this line right here, which is has allowed him to kind of age and stay in this meta a little bit. So attack and defense plus 150% at the start of turn. He has a great chance. This is a 70% chance of evading enemy attacks, including super attacks. He gets 1 key up to 5 with each attack evaded, so he can build up, 5 key. That works really well with this guy. We'll talk about this in Vegeta's showcase a little bit. But Vegeta's issue, right, is that he builds up from attacking, which is not as consistent as Goku, who you want to put up in front of a bunch of attacks anyway, or at least you did whenever he came out, because he's likely to dodge them, and then he's likely to build up ki faster, whereas Vegeta, it's likely to be a slower build up, because he's getting it based on when he attacks, so... Right down here, he gets an additional 30% defense within the same turn after evading an attack. This is once only, so if you have 200k defense at the start of turn and he dodges, he'll now be at 260k defense. So you just get a nice little buff there. He has a medium chance of launching an additional super attack. That is a 30% chance to launch an additional super attack. So this guy can triple super, like I mentioned. He can do his normal attack, or well, just like his ordinary attack, his 18 key or his 12 key, and then he has this 30% chance to additional here, and then he could do his hidden potential super attack, which he can do at 55% because he's AGL, so he is going to have a built-in, 5 crit, or 5 additional in his hidden potential system right here. That's why whenever he came out, most people gave this guy full additional, because if you got the triple super, triple crit turn, and this guy's dodging everything, this guy was easily the best unit in the game on release because of that, so... right down here, if HP is 50% or less at the start of the character's attacking turn, after the character receives 3 attacks or more in battle, he revives with 70% HP recovered when the character or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd. So this UI Goku and Vegeta introduced the revive mechanics into the game. Back whenever they came out, these were actually pretty common to get with both of them. Just because of the way like the God event and Super Battle Road were structured at the time, especially the God event, which was clearly designed to showcase these characters. So it was, it was kind of one of those things. It's like, okay, Goku didn't dodge these attacks. That's not the end of the world because, if he's getting hit, all we need to do is get hit 3 times, and then potentially we could get the revive. So, sometimes it worked out in your favor to actually get hit, So, that's Goku's kit. Again, it's pretty basic, but this right here allows him to be useful for basically forever. This is kind of future-proof. No matter what, you're going to be able to bring this guy into an event forever. As long as it doesn't cancel dodge, he'll have this 70% chance to dodge, which means more often than not, he's not going to get hit, which means he's not going to take damage. And you guys know, if you can't take damage, you can't lose. So that's what makes this guy so powerful, is this right here. So even though his kind of attack numbers and defense numbers have fallen off at this point, this has allowed him to survive, longer than normal in the meta. He does have an active skill. It can be activated when HP is 50% or more starting from the 4th turn of battle. For the most part, I never found this HP restriction to be bad for these guys. Occasionally, I've had it happen where I can't use the active skill because I'm below 50% HP, but this is one of the instances where we have an AND condition here on the unit, and it's not the worst thing anymore. It's not the worst thing in the world, so... Link set is very good. He does have shocking speed, which is going to be good for, some of these god characters, maybe Ultimate Gohan. Back whenever he came out, this was pretty good with, like, Beerus. Some of the reps of Universe 7 have this link, so it's, good that he has shocking speed. Prepared for battle, of course, is always going to be very good, especially on Saiyans. Godly power, it's not really good or bad, but it's, just kind of expected to be on these god, Realm of Gods units. Kamehameha, again, very basic link, but very common link. Tournament of Power is a fantastic link, and of course all of the Universal Survival Saga units have it. Specifically the Tournament of Power ones, though, you had to actually be at the Tournament of Power to get this link. So again, very powerful effect, very good. You definitely want to get this one up to link level 10 for these extra stats. Fierce Battle, basic link that everybody has, very common, and then Legendary Power, of course, is also pretty common at this point. So, great link set. Definitely a character that you want to get link leveled because he does get a lot of defense from links. You can see here 5% from shocking speed, 5% from prepared for battle. Tournament of Power gives 7%. So that's a total of 17% defense that he's getting from links, which is going to help him out defensively more than you think it would. So categories are Miraculous Awakening, Reps of Universe 7, Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Powerful Comeback, Turtle School, Goku's Family, Universal Survival Saga, Loud Music, Goku's Family, Turtle School, Powerful Comeback, Kamehameha, Legendary Existence, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, Earthbred Fighters, Bond of Parent-Child, Battle of Fate, Entrusted Will, and Superheroes. Whew, that's a mouthful. But if I go up here, what actually matters is his 200% leaders. So he actually has 8 200% leads in the game right now. These are all characters that you can run this guy under full power with right now. So in this video, I'm going to be using the Goku team right here just because he's new. So I figured, hey, maybe you summoned on part 1 and you got this UI Goku, and in part 2 you summoned and you got this guy. Here's a team that you can run, based on that. So that's what we're going to be hopping in here with, is on this guy's team here in a second. I'll kind of talk about team building as soon as I kind of talk about links here. So we can see here that this guy does have several linking partners, most of which are going to be turn into power units that are also like UI Gokus. Sadly, these guys have kind of aged out at this point. This guy kind of has the same issue as the UI Goku on the screen there, you know, the one that we're going to be showcasing. But this guy's defense is much lower, whereas the AGL UI Goku, if he gets hit, you know, he's maybe taking 150 to 250k damage. This guy, if he gets hit, I mean, he's taking anywhere from 300 to 500 because his defense is just not as high, and it takes a lot longer for it to get built up. And just for whatever reason, I feel like this guy always dodges for me less than the AGL UI Goku, and his also does wear off after a certain amount of time. I think after 7 turns, it drops to a 50% chance to dodge, so that can be risky as well. But yeah, most of these other units have fallen off, so like this guy, you don't really use him anymore. These this is the same unit, they've fallen off. This is actually the TUR of this unit, so he doesn't really count. This unit has fallen off. He's fallen off, sadly. This was a great rotation whenever these guys initially came out. You could just put UI Goku in slot 1, and, you know, he could, you know, dodge all the attacks, do his, and then Vegeta was protected and could do all of his attacks. It worked out great. This guy, you don't want to use anymore. He's fallen off. These guys are still good, so if you have the 7th anniversary LRs, you can bring them. Jiren, you don't want to be using. This guy doesn't count. This unit is very risky. This is, like, even more than this guy. Like, this guy has a 50% chance to dodge, and if he gets touched at all, he's just gonna basically one-shot you off the team. This is the clear usage for this guy at the moment, is this Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. I think, in theory, what you should actually be doing with these characters is saying, okay, I'm only running reps of Universe 7 right now to get this guy's Spirit Bomb, which is just going to make events way easier. I have videos of that on the channel where I'm using UI Goku, so go check out this guy's showcases if you want some more footage of UI Goku. I'm going to be avoiding using him in the showcase this time, though, just because I think he would steal the show, and we do want to kind of focus in on UI Goku and talk about him specifically. This Namek Goku isn't really great for Red Zone content. He can be okay in some niche situations, but not really. This God Goku's great. We're going to be running him in the video. This guy is not good anymore. This guy's not really good anymore. And this guy is like fringe red zone useful, and then these two suck. So that's where we're at in terms of linking partners. Technically, this guy does have a farmable super attack, but you can only use this STR Goku right here that you can see on screen. And the way you acquire him is in the treasure shop, in the anniversary medal exchange shop. This is the only place where you can get this character, and I do not recommend that you spend these coins on this guy to farm up AGL UI Goku's super attack. That just seems foolish. Surprisingly, this UI Goku right here, this free-to-play, if you're struggling with, like, your STR teams, this guy can actually be pretty decent in Battlefield because he does have, like, a 50% chance to dodge, so he can be decent in Battlefield. But yeah, here we go. Let me go ahead and show you guys the team that I have built, and then we will hop into an event. So this is what we're going to be rocking with, is just a Turtle School setup. The plan is to run God Goku, the physical one, next to this guy, but we'll see how our rotations play out. The nice thing is that Goku, for the most part, does just have a typical Saiyan Link set. So, you know, this is a nice team that you could be rocking with. Again, this guy, these 3 right here were all featured during the anniversary. Technically, this guy was as well on his own EZA banner, and then you could have also gotten this guy during your 77 unit multi. This guy's just a general banner unit, so it's possible that you picked him up. Really, the only unit that you couldn't have, like if you just started your account during the anniversary, the only unit that you wouldn't have is this God Goku. And you can just replace him with pretty much any character on Turtle School. I mean, not like any character, you know, we talked about some of these characters are old now, but just as an example, right, we could grab, you know, this God Goku, who you also could have gotten from your 77 unit multi. You can try using this guy, but I think he's going to fail you more often than not. Who's like another unit you could have gotten in this celebration? Again, this guy you could have gotten from your 77 unit multi. We can try bringing him. We'll try one run with him and just see how things go. So I'm just making that decision on the fly. We're gonna give that a shot. You know, some of these units are just general banner units, but you know, this Master Roshi's free to play. He's not really great for red zone content though, so I wouldn't really bring him. But Anyway, let's go ahead and hop in with this. For the most part, this is a team that you could build in theory if you got really lucky during the anniversary. So let's go ahead and hop into the actual showcase now. All right, everybody, so we're hopping into the actual showcase here for the UI Goku. Sorry, we lost out on turn 1 with this guy. I actually did have him on turn 1, and he took a normal attack for 274k. He double supered. But sadly, I had to cut out that footage because I realized halfway through, whenever I looked down and I saw that the game audio was a bit too loud, I noticed that my mic wasn't recording. So we have the mic on now. We're actually recording the showcase. What I wanted to show you guys is you can see here he's at 214,265k defense, and he gets 30% whenever he super attacks. So over here, I have it calculated, and he's at 278k defense after he dodges an attack. So he's at 214k right now. If he dodges, he'll go up to this amount, and then that's where his defense will cap out on this run because we don't have any support characters or anything. So as far as how you should build this guy, by the way, I kind of touched it on a little bit, but I think at this point you just want to go full dodge with him. Mine is built full dodge in the hidden potential system right here, but his equips, I actually do have all of the 8th anniversary equips on him. I think it's up to you whether or not you want to do this or not. But I will tell you that I don't think I'm really getting a huge benefit from this. At the end of the day, right, this is maybe giving me like 30 or 40k extra defense total. And for you, you may decide that that's worth it. You may have seen this guy take damage, and he just barely kills you in some event, right? And you may just say, oh, if I just had that little bit of extra defense, maybe I could have survived, you know? So that's up to you. But I think ultimately, you really just want this guy to dodge. And the more dodge you give him, the higher chance he has to dodge. Whether or not it's, you know, this tiny incremental amount or not, you know, you have to decide if it's worth it. But, you know, is 40k defense going to help you? Or is, you know, just that little bit of extra, maybe 7% chance to dodge, maybe, you know, 5% chance to dodge? Is that really going to help you? Because the way you have to think about his dodge, right, is that he has a baseline 70% chance to dodge. And then I have mine built with, oh, hang on. And then I have mine built with 15, right? So that means that 70% of the time I'm going to dodge, 30% of the time I'm not going to dodge, which means I only have a chance to activate that 15% chance from his hidden potential system 30% of the time. So if we do 0.3 times 0.15, that means I'm only adding about a 4.5% chance to my overall dodge chance with my 15 dodge. So you really do have to weigh, you know, is the 40k defense going to help me whenever he only has about 270k defense, or is the extra 5% chance to not take any damage at all going to help me? So that's the kind of decision you have to make whenever you're playing the game. For now, we're going to leave God Goku here in slot 1. He should be able to take all this damage very well. We're going to get Goku a super attack. I think he has not dodged up to this point, so we haven't built up any ki from his passive. Again, sorry that you guys kind of missed out on the first turn, but all you missed was a double super. He did like a 3 point, I don't know, I think he did like a 3.2 or a 3.3, and he didn't crit. And then on the second one, he did like a 3.1, and he did crit, and he just did a little bit of damage. So that's all you really missed out on. And then he got hit by a normal, and he took like about 174k damage. So that's really all I can tell you that you missed. And then you missed a little bit of my commentary, which we've already recapped. So there we go. We did get the crit. Please dodge this. There we go. And so here we got 2 dodges, and we survived the turn because Goku dodged. If he had not dodged that super attack, I might have just scrapped this entire video. I'll be honest with you. I'm really annoyed. I actually have to edit this now. I hate whenever I have to edit a video because it takes longer to upload. I don't know why exactly, but for whatever reason, whenever I edit a video, it takes longer to upload. I can't explain it, but it just does. I'm sure it has something to do with like the file size that it exports it as, but I've not been bothered to actually look into it and try to figure out a solution, so I'm just sitting here complaining about it, which is, you know, what we do. It's what you do on the internet, right? You just get on there and complain. But UI Goku is a really good unit, and I think a lot of players can make use out of him. He is not going to be like the tankiest unit in the world anymore, obviously, but the high upside to him is that he can't take damage. And again, I've said this, and I'm going to keep saying it, if you can't take damage, you cannot lose. Okay? Like, that is true. If you are in a position where if you dodge, you take 0 damage, and if you're taking 0 damage, you can't lose, right? Because you're not... The only way to lose in this game is to get KO'd. And in order to KO, you need to take damage. But if you can't get hit, then you can't lose. So, that's the trade-off, right? Is that UI Goku, he's not really doing a ton of damage anymore. He's kind of fallen off in that aspect. But the upside is that potentially you could just take no damage running him. So, I actually did on stream, I got a no item run, I believe, with this guy on the team against the Gammas. So, you know, go check that out. This is a decent spot. Let's go ahead and use his active skill. Alright, gives us a little bit of extra damage there. Unfortunately, his super attack effect actually doesn't really do anything. Or, I'm sorry, his active skill doesn't really do anything for us other than that 2 million damage. You know, it doesn't give us really any increased dodge chance. It doesn't give us, like, a super attack effect, a crit, or anything. All it does is that 2 million damage. So his active skill, it's not really going to be useful for anything anymore. But maybe you go into an event where, like, an enemy is just slightly alive and you have the active skill and you can finish them off. I think I've gotten it a few times in Battlefield, but overall, I've never really gotten much use out of his active skill. Another thing, too, is that his 50% chance to crit on his super attack effect doesn't apply to his active skill. So, you know, like, most people are going to build this guy with additional or dodge, and if you're building him with, like, then if you're not giving him crit. So the only way he can crit on his active skill and actually do some damage is if he crits from his hidden potential system, but if you're not giving him any crit there, okay, please dodge, buddy, please. Oh my god, dodge. He also has a 70% chance, by the way. And I mean, that honestly is a good showing of, like, you know, UI Goku there, right? One of them dodged all the attacks, and then the other one, who had the same dodge chance, did not. So that's the trade-off right there. You can see it. You know, you have UI Goku, and you either take no damage, or you have UI Goku and you take, you know, how much was that? 700k damage because we were at full health. Alright, here we are back against Int Janemba. We got a pretty good rotation here. UI Goku has also gotten a couple dodges, so if I put him here, we can see he doesn't have any key links active, and we're starting out with 8 keys, so he has, what, 2 dodges up to this point, I guess? Because he would be starting out with 6 normally on this team, and he gets 1 every time he builds up, so pretty helpful, pretty helpful. Let's go ahead and grab these tech orbs. Let's hope that Janemba is supering in the first slot. That'll give me a lot of ease on this rotation. We'll grab the AGL orbs with this guy. Really, as long as he doesn't, you know, get supered in the middle slot, I think we can even take all those normals if we were to get hit. I guess we'll find out, though. So, but yeah, UI Goku, I mean, it really is what it is, right? You know, UI Goku, if he's dodging, he's great. If he's not, he's bad. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to with this UI Goku at this point. So, like, Broly, you absolutely do not want to use this guy against Broly because he cancels dodge. Sin, you might be able to get some use out of this guy. And just really any other fight right now, as long as they're not canceling dodge, you know, UI Goku could go in there and do what he's just did right there, and he took no damage, right? So, I mean, he's competently working on this team of characters. The question is he going to get supered, or, you know, is he not? That's ultimately the question here. So, this should be fine. That Goku at the end is still guarding, so he probably thought that we were going to float UI Goku there, but sorry, big boy, I did not do that for you. Excuse me. Let's do this. This will be fine. We'll end up with 2 of these Gokus on the same rotation, but Not a big deal. Let's see, we'll do this, we'll grab that, and then he can grab these int key spheres. Cool, so yeah, overall, I think UI Goku has, I mean, the AGL UI Goku that I'm trying to showcase has performed well. I mean, we saw him, actually, you guys didn't, I don't even think you guys have seen him take a hit yet in this video. I told you that he took a hit for 174k, but so far, like, in the part that's going to make it into this video, he's been doing great, which, you know, it's a 70% chance to dodge. Most of the time, he should look great. You know, it's not a 50, it's not a 30, it's 70. 70 is really high. But, you know, it is what it is. RNG is a very fickle mistress, right? Sometimes you'll just load into a fight and we'll saw like that STR UI Goku. He had the same 70% chance to dodge, and he got hit 3 times in a row. You know, that's 0% chance is what it seems like, right? But, you know, that was just extremely bad luck, essentially, is what that was. Now, if I was really trying to showcase this guy, I would just throw him in slot 1 here. But, you know, that's not smart. And to me, the important thing for you guys watching this video is what are smart decisions to make with this UI Goku? And a smart decision is not putting him in front of all those attacks. We have the Tech God Goku here who can tank all of those attacks. So why would I even consider putting him in front of all of those? Like, that'd just be a terrible idea. So, worst case scenario didn't happen, but worst case scenario would have been that one attack that UI Goku is taking would have been a super attack. That would have been worst case scenario. But luckily, it looks like it is just going to be a normal. So we're going to survive this rotation just fine, and we'll get to see some damage from UI Goku. I think he's fully built up now in terms of ki, so that is nice. You know, we don't have to worry about, you know, him like dodging to build up ki anymore. But sadly, right, is that's it. Like, what we see from Goku is all we see. This 5 million attack stat, I mean, that's good. If he crits, I mean, he's going to do some decent damage. He's got a 50% chance to crit, which he didn't get, and he didn't get any additionals, but he did dodge again. So, ultimately, to me, I'm not worried about his damage. You know, his damage is kind of whatever. If he decides to triple super, triple crit for me, that's great. I really appreciate that. But what I want out of this UI Goku more than anything is just to dodge. I don't want him to get hit ever. Which Goku has higher defense? Mine. We'll leave him on rotation. And we'll do this. This is a little bit risky here because this one in the front is not guarding. But we do have the heal, so if we take a lot of damage on this turn, because I don't think Janemba can kill us. What does he do? He does like 1 million, I think. I'm not sure. But I don't think he can kill us on this rotation is the important thing. So... But if he does do a ton of damage to us, we can heal it back off with one of the Gokus, because they still have their passive heals. So there is that. Alright, there we go. Goku's doing some damage. You know, we just want to get back over to UI Goku. If he wants to super right here, that would be ideal. Like right here. Right here. No, that's okay. He wants to super AGL Goku at the end. That's fine. Or he just doesn't want to super this turn. That'd be cool. We'll see. We'll see. We're about to find out. Again, I think our defense is okay, he just didn't super this turn. That's fine. That's totally fine. So here we go. You're a funny guy, Goku. Oh, we have this guy's active skill. That means we have his scouter too, right? Because, hang on. He gets his active skill after he gets hit 10 times, right? Yeah. 10 times. So that means we do have the scouter. Because he gets his scouter when it's... Yeah. So, Janemba is not super attacking 2 turns in a row. That is, very strange. Alright, we're going to use this guy's active skill, and then we're going to see if we can get the KO screen with UI Goku. But if we don't, then I'll probably just throw him in slot 1, and we'll end the showcase here. So, let me know what you guys think about UI Goku. Did you pull him? Have you been able to use him? Just real quick, while he's on rotation with the support, he's at 257k defense. Again, that's with 50% support. So he's at 257,118 times 1.3. You know, if he dodges an attack here, he'll be at 334k defense, which still just is not enough to really cut it. That's going to be okay against some normals in the game, but for the most part, that's just not going to be enough defense to cut it. So really with this guy, it's either you're dodging or you're dead. So anyway, we're going to use both of these active skills. We're just going to play it out like a little movie. If we don't KO him with the active skills, then we will put UI Goku in slot 1 and hope for the best. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
オラは別に正義のヒーローでもなんでもねえ。けんどな、仲間を傷つけるやつは許さねえぞ。
本気を見せてやる。